Hello, everyone. Welcome to ZSR2. Today we've got another match of the Z2R Randomizer Max Rando Tournament 2023. We've got winners bracket round 2 here between traiLZ and jkoper. I'm ZR2 Comms today. Ryan and Nightcrawler, how are you two doing?
I'm doing great, and you know what? This is a big race, and I'm surprised you guys let me on to the big race. You know, to embarrass myself in front of all these people and all these professional, like, awesome racers. I'm going to be the third wheel here.
Well, I mean, you were the biggest donor, to the ZSR Restream channel, and so just as a, as a redemption, you do get to sit in the booth here tonight with us in this very, what will hopefully be an amazing race.
I'd almost forgotten about that. that charity drive. That was a cool one. I forgot about that. Well, thank you for making me feel good about myself.
I'm just trying to let everyone know that you're making it rain.
Oh yeah, totally am. Totally am. All right. Well, we got a little preview from our restreamer, Miss Star, and our lovely racers are gonna have a nice little surprise waiting for them inside.
Yeah, this is going to be an interesting one. As we usually always say, Max Rando tends to give us interesting starts, and this is no different than the others. As they open open their menus and see exactly what they've got there. Glove, boots, no gems, 5 lives, 4 hearts. Oh, and an Islands East, or it could be a vanilla like still, I guess. But still, go ahead.
I was just saying, loving the sprite. I don't think I'd seen the... Is this a rope sprite? This isn't the Barba sprite, or is it just... This is a rope sprite.
It is an Aniro, yes. It is a grown-up rope.
It's
an adult rope. Yeah. And yeah, Star correcting us there. It is a canyon there. We do see the other side of it. Vertical north-south canyon. We're looking for GP with 0 gems.
Yep. That's the big thing here is that they have upstep too. I didn't notice that. Yeah, so they have glove, so they can go into GP. They also have upstab that can help in GP, and they have thunder, which they probably can't cast. Let's see. Oh no, they can't cast it yet. But with just one more magic standard, they should be able to. So basically, they can go straight into GP and try to finish it. They might end up needing downstab. They might end up needing fairy. They might end up needing a key. Any of those things could happen, but these two racers, they both know each other's skill, and they're both willing to take huge risks. So they're probably going to go straight into GP, and it's either going to pay off big or pay off negative big.
Negative big.
Yes. So this is going to be really exciting.
Yeah, we're seeing Maze Island Bridge there right next to Star. It takes us to Maze Island today, and it's just P4. So three palaces left to check on the west before we figure out how to get to the east.
And they do start out with Reflect, so they could go in there and kill them, but why? They don't need to. And they won't get any reward for placing the gem, so they won't get a free level up. Which obviously, if you place a gem at like when you're level 111, that's not helpful, really. But seeing these guys go through GP probably at like before they get to level 3 and everything is going to be pretty interesting.
Yeah, we did get, you did mention downstab, but they did get jump in Saria, and so jump is castable even at Magic 1. They just need to find Mito to grab downstab. So they're going to be, I guess you could say, fully equipped, other than like at least like mechanically for combat, they'll be equipped to handle anything in there other than that, like you talked about, the key block potentially, or a fairy block of some sort. I don't know. These are very nerve-wracking seeds as someone who's played a few 0 gemmers in our... Oh, wow.
Ooh. Was that Islands?
It looked a little wet, yeah.
Okay, that's actually good for these guys because they start out with the boots. So having a canyon and islands is going to make navigation and avoiding enemies, nasty encounters, very easy for them. So all the more reason why they can clear this seed real fast. And it's so easy to look for palaces on canyon and islands when you have the boots. And there's GP. Well, here we go.
1, 2, 2, 3 minute, 16 second-ish, 15 second-ish GP entry on traiLZ's side here. We'll see what awaits us. This is maybe over in a moment if Darklink is close by.
Seeing as they have jump, I'm a little surprised they went in with that traiLZ went in without downstab, but I'm not that surprised. traiLZ is a big. He's a very risky player at times. I would say even more so than jkoper.
Yeah, yeah. These are the things that traiLZ definitely ends up training for and playing practice seeds a lot of. So, just go in and see what you got, because as he'll tell you, Darklink might just be 2 rooms in.
Mm-hmm.
And anyone not familiar with our Max Rando flag set, Thunderbird normally required in the vanilla game and normally required in our standard type of seeds, but in Max Rando, Thunderbird not necessarily required. Could be in the way, as we do see Thunderbird here. There's still one other path, but it doesn't mean that that is the path to Darklink, as we will have one left remaining here in this elevator.
By the way, this sprite, I'm loving it. And of course, I love the Trogdor sprite too, so it's just so fun watching this guy like scoot around. All right. Not a problem so far. I bet if traiLZ had an extra magic container, he probably wouldn't bother fighting Thunderbird right yet anyway, because it's gonna take a while for that fight at attack 1.
Yeah, it's gonna be a pretty rough fight. It's gonna be the same as vanilla. It's the same. I believe it's the same effectiveness as vanilla. There's no real randomization. I'm sorry?
How many hits is it?
96, I believe.
Oh God.
Yeah, we got jkoper out in the east here, looking around, getting some extra stuff, picking up the shield spell here in whatever town this was, Nibiru.
By the way, love that enemy edit for the for the ropes. Is a little tiny link, or for the Aniros. That's perfect. That's great. Oh God, no! Oh, I was so worried for. Oh.
I think I'm gonna assume his input got eaten there because the giant bot is lagging the screen.
That might be
not even able to pop it at attack 1.
Would that have happened on a hardware?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I think jkoper just picked up the raft or the pan flute that you ride on across the ocean, whichever you want to think of it as. Fortunately, they do start with the extra life, so traiLZ does have 2 lives left, even though he's died 3 times in this. Oh God, jump's a great idea here. Oh.
Yeah, he didn't grab down stab. He just saw a GP and went in, so he's got the jump spell as he's showing us, but did not hit up Mito to get down stab. So bodying that Firebird there is taking him out there, life 2, all 4 bars.
It kind of looked like he had come down on it as if he had down stab, and sort of remembered at the last minute that he didn't.
Yeah, this is always the fear, right? The 0 gem seeds. This is a huge just strategy that you have to really take into account here. Do you look for things like jkoper is, or do you try to do this GP? And if traiLZ ends up like full clearing all of this craziness that may be GP, just very slowly with these low resources, ending up not reaching or not being able to reach Darklink, and then jkoper comes in, in 10 minutes or something with 2 magic containers and a heart container and some extra levels, he's going to be better equipped. He'll be able to do Thunderbird if we deem it's a Thunderbird block or something like that. So this is the real fear if you do end up investing a lot of time into these low resource GPs where you're just getting beat up constantly.
And I think this is the point when this is exactly the kind of game. Oh, nice cross. Okay, that actually could be very useful at these low levels in GP. But this is one of the few games where it's very clear and easy to point out how meta strategy can come into play in randomizer races like this. And it's not usually this clear, but jkoper knows traiLZ's personality. He knows that traiLZ would go into GP right away. So when he sees Thunderbird and he knows traiLZ is going to be in here, and traiLZ just takes whatever is the first level he gets to, he's going to know that traiLZ is going to have at most attack level 2 against Thunderbird, so he's probably going to skip Thunderbird. So in this case, if you're jkoper and you've seen that traiLZ hasn't completed the game yet, you know he's gone into GP, you know that he hasn't beaten the game, and you know that he hasn't defeated Thunderbird. So in that case, in my opinion, like a good strategy as jkoper would be to go for Thunderbird, because you know that traiLZ hasn't done that.
Yeah, these are the mind games you end up having to play with yourself. You can psych yourself out in trying to predict what your opponent is doing, and at the same point in time, Really, the best advice is to just play the game that you're comfortable with, and traiLZ is comfortable with low resource GPs, and maybe jkoper's not. And so here he is. He's doing some extra clearing, and it's going to work out for somebody here in the end.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're seeing several junctions here on traiLZ's side. We've got at least 2 lefts remaining, if I'm not mistaken. One of them, I think we're about to go left here in traiLZ in this Jackamus room.
Yeah, there's still a few directions that he hasn't checked, so quite a bit could be opened up at this point still.
Yeah, I'm not even sure jkoper has seen GP yet. I think he's about to see it, though. It's right along the eastern coast here. It's just, so it looks like we got 2 and 5 on the west, and then going to be GP as well. But I don't think he's seen GP yet. He saw the east. He saw the east, and he saw the islands east, and then he just ran over there and did some checking. We did see Fairy in Darunia, so if we see a Fairy block, we're going to need the child.
Okay.
Also, he's not going to Mito either, so if he comes in here, Mito's bound to be one of these 2 towns he's about to walk into, so he'll have downstab as well, whereas, again, traiLZ does not. That may hurt him. This is not a place to grind, right? GP is not the place to grind. It's not the place to jump into combat. And so you're just trying to go and survive. And downstab is so hugely helpful in positions like this.
Oh, nice job in this waffles and syrup room here. I've seen. Oh, and taking advantage of that upstab too to do this sort of entry into that waffle. You can see this room tripping up even fairly veteran racers. So that was a good job.
Yeah, dead end. Dead end there on that path.
Even if traiLZ didn't take damage from this spicy chicken, it's going to take a long time just to whittle down a spicy chicken with attack 2.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, dude. I mean, geez, those Firebirds. Wow, they have a ton of health and armor. It seems like really at like attack even 6 and 7, those things will take up to like 10 hits, and so you'll probably hit them 30 times or more with attack 1 and 2.
Mm-hmm. Well, jkoper just picked up downstab, which we haven't seen a downstab block yet, but that is going to help in GP in numerous ways. So the advantage is starting to swing back a little bit. I'm not going to say that... I mean, this is any kind of zero gem seed. When you go right in, it's high risk, high reward for both parties. So I'm not going to say it's one way or the other yet. But the longer that traiLZ is in here without finding anything significant, the better off jkoper is. But jkoper's in here now. So he hasn't really got that much to help him except for the cross, which hasn't been marked. So let me just do that. And downstab.
Yeah, he also has 1 less life level given all the exploration that he's done. He has some information, other than downstab. He just has a little bit of information, and like you say, the cross, which isn't useful in this particular GP on the west. But I don't know. You would hope to have a little bit more, another level or 2 somewhere along the way, but he doesn't. So we'll see what happens here.
He didn't actually find Thunderbird right away, did he?
No, he went left immediately.
That's interesting.
But also, the same life level, same magic containers. He's still going to be unable to cast Thunder. So it'll be really interesting here. Yeah,
I think it would be good to. Okay, I would stay out there for long enough to get a magic container, but I also would lose to traiLZ 99 out of 100 times. So.
Yeah, it's so hard. It's like, where are they? It's like the other 4 could be in palaces. They don't have to be in an item cave. And that's something that's sitting in the back of your mind as a racer. It's like if you're checking those quick checks, I think we got the desert tile, water tile, and grass tile. Really easy checks, but it's like, how many caves do you want to dig into,
Well, they did have Maze Island available to them, right?
That's true. Yeah, that's true as well. Could be 2 quick checks there.
Oh, jkoper's a little nervous right now. I think he's a little tense.
Yeah, here we go. New pit room. This is a duplicate room, but a different enemy in here for traiLZ. So this is a different room as we head left.
Oh, nice. We're getting a raid from ZSR. So I guess that zero gem was a zero gem on the other race too.
Well, yeah. Please no spoilers on that one. So we're gonna wanna. I'm definitely gonna want to watch that one back.
Okay.
You might. Some people might be getting some spoilers right now on this race, but yeah, zero gem here as well. It sounds like. I mean, because it sounds like the other one is 0.
Well, I'm sorry if I spoiled anything, but that would be a spoiler for the first 5 seconds of the.
Yeah. No. I was just slow. I was just slowing you down from that point forward
Roger.
in case anyone said anything in chat as well.
Yeah,
Because that was an elimination match.
Oh yeah. I've been watching both races at the same time, actually.
Yeah, jkoper made it through that room, and he's down into a new section here. That downstab helping.
Oh, nice, yeah.
Oh, they didn't just, no, they didn't. Okay. Wow, tough room there to the right as well. A lot of birds on, but that's where downstab, if you can surf off those birds, is going to help for jkoper. We're going to check left first, though.
Yeah. I mean, we saw earlier how traiLZ was going to make it through that room, and he didn't on his 4th attempt because he lacked downstep. So jkoper has that opportunity available to him. I think he's probably going to find Thunderbird this time, though, and I'm guessing continue to search the rest of the palace without doing Thunderbird.
Yeah, well, interesting enough that what he was showing us there we had not seen before. We had a left side elevator in a ferry block room, but of course, the way we approach it, we don't need ferry. And we did see a very busy fun room with some birds on a crumble bridge, and so we're not able to see either one of those 2 elevators and where they led to.
On the Nintendo Freak 99, yep, traiLZ is the snake enemy from the game, and a Nero. I think that is by Irene. Irene Punmaster, is that correct?
Before you say that, here's traiLZ. I think he's looping around. I think he's about to loop around into the room that jkoper saw to the right. So if he keeps heading left, if he makes it through this room, presumably there's some birds to get through first. If he makes it left, he might continue left and see that ferry room.
Okay.
God. Yeah, this is very busy, though. This is where downstab helps immensely.
So that was 2 blue bird knights and an orange one?
Yeah.
I do not envy his...
Oh!
Well.
Just hold left.
Oh, God. And blocking that last beam would have been so difficult. So, or at least nerve-wracking. And the first beam took almost exactly half of his life. So...
Yeah, this is a loop, as traiLZ doesn't know it, but this is what we've seen already on jkoper's side. So this left here is going to be brand new information in the palace for us. Assuming he can make it through, there's a firebird and an orange bird here that he's got to get through.
I think, what is Trogdor? I think in D&D terms, Trogdor is an aberration. I would say monstrosity, but he's only got the 1 arm. That's pretty aberrant right there, so I'm guessing... We got some far realm influence going on with Trogdor.
traiLZ makes it through. He's going to show us right at the top of this elevator what we've got.
All right.
Oh, it continues on.
Oh, but wait, he doesn't have... Oh, okay. Yeah, sorry. These guys... I forget sometimes that the MOAs in GP are always visible. Or I thought they were sometimes invisible.
They're visible on the Weston Maze Island because there are no invisible MOAs in that those banks.
Okay. Interesting.
Okay, another elevator down here for traiLZ. If you can make it through this, looks kind of quiet.
Okay, that's a good room. Nice, easy room, and we could have something. No, I had a feeling. It was feeling in my gut, but my gut is full with other stuff, so I guess it was just kind of sitting in my esophagus or something.
I'm not 100% sure if we've seen a left at that Jackamus room there. I think traiLZ came back down in this direction and ended up taking a game over here. This was a dead end or something.
All right, there's a potential jar drop there, but there's no real reason traiLZ would go for that.
If there's an enemy set in this room, there's no jar.
Okay, thanks.
Got to be an empty room. And we got another elevator.
Yeah, traiLZ is on fire. Oh wow, that's a good sprite right there. I like that. That downstab. That's very well done, Irene. Oh, okay. All right. So jkoper also get through this Serpent Waffles room.
There's so many of these duplicate rooms. This is like the third room we've seen like this elevator and up top as well.
Yeah, this has got to be one of the more not the most confusing GPs, but not friendly, I would say, in terms of navigation. Oh god, that's nerve-wracking for Koper.
It's a loop!
No, don't do it. Yeah, he broke too many blocks. I'd say he lost a life, but he's still got several more in reserve. And Trails just looped. You said?
Yeah, we have seen all of this. I think it might be Thunderbird.
So we are, yeah.
Wow, if Cobra had just found a magic container in his travels, he would have given an attempt at Thunderbird at this point. Trails is out. He thinks Thunderbird as well. He's just gotta find one magic container, and we're gonna get a Thunderbird attempt here.
Yeah, I definitely give the advantage to Trails at this point because jkoper hasn't been as successful in exploration as Trails has been. So unless he gets a feeling and nopes out, Trail's gonna be looking for a magic container. But there's 4 magic containers in this world and a lot of different spots to check, so they could all be in palaces. You never know.
Yeah, I wonder how much more time jkoper is going to commit to this. We're going to see Trails probably do the same thing jkoper did on the east. Might do the New Kasuto. Oh, he did check New Kasuto, not enough containers or the spell though, so we won't be doing any further checks in there right now. Grabbing the shield spell out of Nibiru, probably looking for desert and water tile as well, and then we'll see where they go. We'll see if Trails checks any caves over here in the east. Neither one of our runners using a tracker that's at least visible, so we don't know if they've explored every cave on the west as well.
There's plenty of places left to check. Hoping the 2 MCs are in New Kasuto. That would be interesting. They'd have to get spell and a certain number of magic containers to get a magic container.
Yeah.
So that would be fun. But they really only need to find one. So if it was in the magic container lady's house, I guess the magic container lady's the spell tower could unlock the magic container lady's spell item. So sorry,
that's true.
Container item.
I think we just picked up spell, and I think it is 65 to cast, so we don't think we can cast it yet.
Not yet. So they would need to pick up magic levels, which a spell goes down pretty quick though. So if Trails gets one more magic level, it's probably gonna be castable, right? Maybe level 5.
Thunder doesn't have to come down until much later. I mean, it could sit there for many levels.
Yeah, I meant spell.
Oh, right. Yeah. Probably around 5, yeah. It is already low, though. It usually starts in the 80s, so maybe this is its first drop down. Or, never mind, It is castable at 3. I could have swore it was 65.
Well, Trails...
Proving me wrong.
Yeah. Also, each of his magic containers has 17. Oh, God, that's just a big middle finger. But if he gets another 150 experience, he can possibly pick up... Well, it's going to be a life level, and I know Trails is going to take it.
Yeah, he might. Or he might just be gambling on that magic 4 to bring something down further. It's...
Yeah,
okay.
I would go for magic 4, personally.
All right, Coper's in the same room he took a game over in the first time. Hopefully he makes it through here so that he can... Oh, he's going to get it. He's going to get it. He needs to see this loop so he can get out of here and go find a magic container.
Trail's not getting his magic refilled. I guess he's got plenty of lives left, so he should be fine in the overworld. All right, let's see what this palace is. What? Okay, sorry. Fairy Town. That's what that palace is.
Yeah.
All right. So Coper, almost to that point.
Oh, we are going to check Sunken Peabag Cave here on Trails' side. Pretty sure Coper did not check this.
Okay. Could be candle, could be child, or medicine, or trophy, or key, or another Peabag.
Another Peabag, yeah.
Oh, no, he
yep.
did
Okay.
Yep.
Confirmed Coper was in here.
All right. Oh, okay. So Trail still has plenty of lives left. Hopefully he rolls that into 450. Probably like 500 experience or 550 experience for magic. Magic 4.
Yeah, Coper has another room or 2 before he can confirm that he's been in a loop.
Oh, Irene. Oh, Irene, why? What? You did it again. I'd say at their levels, cross is not the worst thing to get. Because you never know.
Yeah, if you're going to hang out on the east and do some stuff on the east, the cross could be very useful.
Never cross the streams. Yep, that's right, Zerwing.
All right, so jkoper about to hit the Jackamus room upstairs. He has seen this. If he realizes that, I'm not sure if he's gone left up here yet.
Oh, there's water tile. I don't think jkoper has seen water tile yet, has he?
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure about the water tile. I know the oh.
Medicine. Okay.
Okay, yeah. So medicine, I don't know actually what Mito was. It wasn't fairy. It was maybe dash.
It was Nehru's love.
I'm going to assume that's another Zelda reference somewhere.
Oh my god. Are you for real right now?
I play Zelda 2 Randomizer. I don't read lore books.
Lore books.
What?
Have you never played Ocarina?
Never.
Ever? Oh my god. What was that?
Raft.
Okay. All right. Now I'm the one asking questions like this. It looked like something.
Don't you know the Oniru sprite lore?
No, I don't. Oh, snakes
on a plane.
I didn't see it as a plane for some reason. I'm sorry, Irene.
So, real fast here, did we see trails come through this hard upstab block room from the top side? Oh, he doesn't have downstab. Oh, right. No kidding.
True.
Oh, this is new. Oh, this is totally new. That's why we probably saw him go into this room and dip out really quick, and we just totally missed it. I mean, from the commentator's perspective.
I didn't see a downstab block. I must have been looking at jkoper's screen when that happened. Fascinating.
Yeah, but he's down to 2 hearts here. These guys are going to take... He's got to stay low. He should really stay low here.
Oh, God. That fire. Okay, it's not... That didn't do too much damage. Oh, no. Yeah, I want to see what's
He's
there.
on zombie mode. Okay. Oh, this is to the left.
Interesting. All right, now...
Unless it's a duplicate.
So...
Nope, that's a loop. That's a loop. Yeah. Okay.
Lots of loop in here. Can he get this without falling off? This is a tough fairy to get. Okay, good job.
Yeah, Cooper's seen all this already. He's been through here. He needs to. I mean, yeah. Trails has the idea here of looking for a magic container.
Yep.
But still coming up empty-handed so far.
Yeah, let's check out that Maze Island. I like that Maze Island. jkoper has already been in this room, hasn't he?
Yes, but he might have game overed in here.
Okay.
Or no, there, he realized, oh no, he's still going back in.
This is a big mistake, I want to say.
I think he's feeling it as well. He's like, wait, hold on. Yeah, we're out of here.
Awesome.
He took a sip of something. It was probably some sort of knowledge juice, and it hit him, and he was like, wait, I've seen all this. Let's get out of here.
His boba contains the heart of retro gamers.
Yeah. Now, the thing is, it's like, I'm not sure they've cleared all these caves, because we didn't see a medicine cave clear, unless Trails just did it on his side, but I'm pretty sure we didn't see jkoper in a medicine cave, so...
Well, it definitely isn't a case of it being boots locked or hammer locked, because they got that.
Yeah, both our runners walking around in the west now.
So it's just a matter of finding it. I mean, they could have possibly needed a raft over to it from somewhere else, but that seems very unlikely. They just haven't found it, most likely.
Wait, found what?
Well, medicine cave, right? Like, there are potentially weird ways to get to caves in continents, like rafting over or taking a connector cave to like some like isolated part of the map, but that's pretty uncommon.
Yeah, that should be uncommon with our canyon biome here today.
And the P-bags are not generous today. Even Trails is picking them up, and he's getting disappointed.
Wow, it's just P-bags and
God,
caves.
20? he just got a third. What was it? A 50 and a 20, or was it a 30 and a 20? It's like, ooh.
Yeah, we're hoping for some Maze Island action here in terms of good drops on jkoper's side. He's going to be the first one to dig in here. Doesn't mean he picked the right direction first. I think traiLZ may join him shortly, but I still think we're missing Medicine Cave.
Right. Yes. Okay. So both the boyos are in Maze Island now.
Oh,
Interesting. Quick find. All right. Meanwhile, jkoper trying to. Oh, that's a free life, isn't it?
yes.
Okay. So that's not going to help. Both these guys are pretty much in exactly the same mental and readiness state at this point. So it's just whoever finds this thing first, really. I mean,
Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
Does oh no, they both have about the same attack level too, don't they? So I guess they're at even.
Yeah, I was just going to say that, like in the beginning, we were talking about how it's nerve-wracking to try to, predict what your opponent is doing. But at the same point in time, the longer this race goes on, as we almost approach, we're about to hit the 30-minute mark here, you've essentially confirmed whatever you had early on that, yeah, this is definitely a Thunderbird block. We're definitely doing the same thing. This is not over yet. So it's really just a race to a magic container and then get back in there.
Yeah. That last item location's got to be in the bottom left, right?
No, I was going to say southwester right here. Oh!
Oh! All right. Okay. And traiLZ is not far from it, but not within like 20 seconds of it. So
yeah,
advantage jkoper.
Jkoper looking for this last bit of experience for this level.
Okay. I'd say at this point that was a good choice. Because before I was saying, yeah, pick up a magic level because you might need to get spell cost down. At this point, they have the magic container. They can cast thunder. They don't need that. So I'd say life levels are much better, especially considering that, like, if you really suffer in Thunderbird, he's like what 3 rooms from the start, 4 rooms from the start. You just up an A and go again.
Yeah, Jkoper back in here, 30:55 on our timer. I think 30:53 on his own timer there. Re-entry with a castable Thunder going in for Thunderbird here. We'll see if he can seal the deal. Yep. We'll see who can seal the deal first here. Oh, Jkoper's not the right way, dude.
Jkoper, what? Where are you going, buddy? That's
Okay.
not where it is. I think if he realizes, they'll probably be in almost exactly the same time frame. If he doesn't, then Jkoper just threw this away, unfortunately.
I'm afraid to say throwing it away at this point, unless traiLZ is going to have some real issues with Thunderbird, which is possible because this is probably a 2-shot life 3 with shield. I mean, I don't.
He can do it. I think he can do it. It's close to the start. He's got attack 3. I'm pretty sure traiLZ has done attack 3 Thunderbird like 40 times at least.
Yeah, this is. I thought we were going to have dueling Thunderbirds here, but unfortunately, it doesn't seem we're going to have that.
Yeah. Jkoper had his eye on the prize and just totally lost his way. Oh, traiLZ.
I guess that room he up and ate out of the last time, I guess he hasn't seen beyond there, and he wanted more resources to get through, or at least he wanted to try this one more time and then give Thunderbird an attempt.
I suspect it's more like he just forgot where Thunderbird is. Because why would you leave specifically for a magic container? Unless it's to beat Thunderbird.
Yeah, that's my
It's not like he
question
has
as
a
well.
life spell.
Oh, we actually can't do shield, and it's going to be a one-shot. We cannot do shield along with our Thundercast because we have just enough for Thunder.
All right. So this is going to attack 3. What's that? For Thunderbird?
I mean, we don't have vanilla values beyond attack 1, so it's impossible to say.
Wait, he just got hit. traiLZ just got hit, didn't he?
He still has full life.
Yeah, that was weird. I'm probably the way the crouch stab looked made it look like he got hurt or something. I don't know.
All right, Jkoper on the right path now to Thunderbird. I guess it's possible he forgot where Thunderbird was. I guess that's entirely possible. He's one room away now.
Okay.
But he has given traiLZ the lead here, unless traiLZ takes a death, and then it's reset, and we will have dueling Thunderbirds.
Yeah, one little shrimp can make all the difference here. And traiLZ is about to get him down to hyper mode. Hyper beam.
Yeah, I don't think jkoper's in better condition here. Again, without a shield cast, I'm going to assume that Thunderbird's hitting us for probably 5 heart containers at life 4. So no matter what, I think it's one shot on both runners.
Yep.
Thunderbird hits like an absolute truck. It's ridiculous.
If jkoper had shield and he's at life 4, I think he'd probably be okay for taking one shot at least, but
yeah, I agree.
Not gonna happen. And traiLZ is chipping away, doing a great job avoiding these shrimp. He hasn't really even seemed threatened so far.
No.
1 bar left. That's probably what, like 5-6 hits. And jkoper just took a death. Ooh, man. If jkoper...
Oh! Wow! Wow!
Did he like pause and lose his momentum?
No, he a jump looks like a jump input got eaten there, and unfortunately, standing still, just standing like as what just happened to jkoper there. You're trying to just do touch and goes as you're trying to move as fast as you can, and just a slight miss input, little too soon.
Yeah, I think he still had like 2 or 3 hits, but that's basically 1 cycle, so he would have gotten into on the next cycle. Yeah. Yikes. So traiLZ still has a slight advantage because jkoper died a few seconds after traiLZ did, but this is a much more even game now. I will say jkoper would have had the advantage, if he had got in here right away. But there could still potentially be quite a bit of palace after this. In fact, I think there has to be. They've seen the entire other side of the palace, and that was like 20 rooms? So like the other 10 rooms have got to be over here, right?
Yeah, we could have as small as a 27 room jkoper. 27 room GP, but as big as a 40 with this flag set.
Right. So I feel like it's impossible for Darklink to be in the next room.
I don't know. We have seen a lot of GP. I'm always bad at counting rooms myself, so it's hard for me to estimate. But I would say not impossible, but I'm probably leaning more towards agreeing with you that we probably have another room or 2 after Thunderbird at least.
Yeah. I think it'll split. I think we're going to have a decision that they got to make afterwards, and that could make another difference after this. Of course, that only really matters if they both kill Thunderbird.
Yeah, traiLZ taking 2 extra deaths. They're down to his final life. This is, not by any means an easy fight, just simply because it goes on for so long. The longer it goes on, the more likely you're going to be hit by the fire, especially after the 50% mark on Thunderbird's health when he starts hurling twice as many fireballs. And there's still a lot of hits here. traiLZ has the advantage because he's able to get anywhere 3 to 5 hits moving to the left and probably 2, maybe 3 to the right. jkoper's probably kind of looks like he's just doing 2-2 each way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think traiLZ's combat has been a little bit more on point in this game, but jkoper is still not to be underestimated.
Yeah, no, jkoper knows how to do this. It's just slow and steady. Just keep dodging the fire. Hopefully you don't get some really bad RNG in terms of fire placement, and just keep whittling them down. Yeah, we've got fast fire or aggressive Thunderbird on jkoper's side now. traiLZ he's got another bar and a half or so. Never mind, there we are.
I was getting worried for jkoper for a second because he had some sort of poorly placed jumps that sort of killed his momentum, and he was about to get shrimped. This happened a couple times so far. I think 4 times since in this fight. So I'm a little worried. He might choke in a few seconds, but, that is a risk for either of our runners.
Yeah, the corner is usually where you get trapped. Where you walk into that court just as jkoper gets trapped in the corner. Those are the dangerous spots. You can't, you have to stay kind of limber, we'll say. We've got to keep Link limber in those corners.
You know what's limber? A snake. But not this snake, unfortunately.
Oh!
Yikes. But you know what? Even after, let's say jkoper defeats Thunderbird here, here and now. I think he's on his last life. So he's going to go to the next room. It's not going to be Dark Link. And there's a strong chance that he'll have to reset. So I don't think that game over really put trailZ behind that far, because he has all those lives in stock. So if he beats Thunderbird this time and jkoper beats Thunderbird this time, they're pretty much going to be in the same position.
Yeah. We don't know what bosses are dropping. So if they are dropping 1-ups, that could be really good for, again, looking at Koper, if he's able to seal the deal here on what we think it might be his last life, just give him an extra one. Probably be willing to push a little bit further. These are the fights, though. I mean, this is what you practice. This is what, in order to get good at this Thunderbird fight, you just come in here with low attack. And you've said it before, Nightcrawler, where you just set it to, make yourself invincible. Yeah. And you just practice this back and forth. Put yourself at attack 1 and just learn the pendulum, learn the rhythm, learn where and when to swing, and how crazy the fire can be, post 50% health.
Yep, exactly. Yeah. Just you can do this pretty easily by just generating a seed. Take your attack value down and never level it up, and then you can give yourself all the spells, give yourself unlimited magic, and you can make yourself invincible too, and or not. In this kind of fight, you'd want to be invincible, because if you take one hit, you wouldn't have time to recover yourself. So, yeah, and then just set a save state for each of the bosses, and you can practice your technique, because you're not going to kill the bosses too fast to be able to try those techniques. So, like on Barba, for instance, you can see like just how many pogos you can do, how hard you can jackhammer him. Whereas if you were going in there at like attack 5, you're not really practicing for that long. Because you'd kill Barba in like 5 seconds. So
5 seconds might be a little generous, but yeah. You're gonna kill him a lot faster than if you were just jumping around at attack 1. One thing to point out here though is that the more that they do these longer fights like this is gonna take quite a toll on their thumbs, and so they're gonna potentially get a little worse as this fight goes on, as their thumbs get really sore.
Yeah, jkoper just took a death without even hitting Thunderbird. It seemed like this fight was wearing on jkoper. I kind of saw it on his face. We can see the cams for these players. It's cropped for the for just the layout here, because you got both viewers and the trackers and stuff on your side, but we can see their faces. And yeah, I think jkoper's kind of losing his cool a little bit. traiLZ, he seems a little frustrated, but focused. I'd say he's also lost his cool a little bit, but not quite as much.
Yeah, more disappointment, I think, on both their faces than anything else, because they each got pretty far. traiLZ was obviously closest, but yeah, it's Sorry, I'm watching the fire fall on traiLZ's side. It's a lot of dancing. Oh wow!
God. Yeah.
Piece of fire catches the tail of the snake.
Yep. It's funny. Like, this is one of those situations where, and I'm not saying I would have done this. I'm not saying anyone should have done this, but if someone had found a second magic container, if someone went into the medicine cave and found a magic container there, then like Life 4 and Shield would probably be able to save them from a shrimp. So I think that would have made the difference in this case, but how long would it have taken to find that? There's really no way of knowing unless you analyze the seed after the game.
Yeah, this is I don't know, if you're here long enough, at what point do you decide, I need to back out of here? I'm just banging my head up against the wall, and this is frustrating, and I know that I could do this if I just had a shield cast.
I don't think traiLZ would do that. I think he's just going to keep going until he wins.
I mean, that's entirely possible. You do have to concern yourself with your opponent doing that, and if if he thinks jkoper is going to step out, then he maybe needs to just buckle down and says, I don't have time to step out, I need to do this.
Mm-hmm. But
yeah, I didn't do a good job tracking in my head what we had seen on the West. Again, I just keep talking about Medicine Cave, but it's possible that we didn't see something else as well. I know we saw Pillar Pea Bag, Grass Tile, Heart. I guess we did. Did we see Trophy? I don't know if we saw Trophy. Could be that that's still outstanding as well. I'm not sure. And of course, with just one magic container so far in Maze Island, or on Maze Island.
And they both found the same one, so it's not like they found a different one. And,
yeah.
And now we know where both of them are. Something that would be an interesting state of affairs. But they pretty much have exactly each other's items, except for jkoper has the Foodie, which probably doesn't really lead to anything important. So it probably leads to like a pea bag location or something.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, Aaron, exactly. It's sort of a tortoise and hare situation. Normally, I would consider traiLZ to have the more hairy style, and jkoper to have the more tortoisey style. Between the two, relatively speaking, jkoper is a little bit less risk. Or he's a little bit more risk averse, I think, than traiLZ, but obviously not extremely risk averse because he ended up in this fight with Thunderbird only a few seconds after traiLZ, or like a minute after traiLZ. So it's not like a huge difference or anything. But yeah, tortoise and the hare definitely could come into play in races like this. And hi Stom, how's it going? Nice to see you in chat too.
I'm just watching both of our runners here, and this is just, I mean, it's the same thing again and again, but the fire falls. This is not a scripted fight by any means. This is,
Yeah.
you have to keep the pendulum left to right. You've seen our runners lose it a few times. At that point, it gets a little scary. If you lose the pendulum, comes down, Thunderbird comes down on you in the corner, all that fire falling on you, you don't have a lot of space to move. And so that's like, you got to dance. It turns into Dance Dance Revolution, essentially, 2D Zelda style.
Dude, I would love a DDR game. Like DDR Zelda would be so funny. Like, I know there's a DDR Mario, but now you make me want DDR Zelda with, like, I don't know, the various links in Zeldas and, like, Agatha and Midna and all that kind of stuff. That'd be fun. RCS, haven't seen you in, like, a billion years, dude. How's it going, man?
RCS in retirement.
Yeah.
He's on the beaches. He's enjoying the sun.
He got
no more raceful stress.
Yeah, he got his big check from the last tournament, so he pretty much retired on that, right? Retired to Maui.
Yeah. Oh, traiLZ with another hit there. jkoper's cruising, but he's hitting fast. He's hitting aggressive fire here. A lot of dancing. Pendulum's messed up, but wow.
Good point, Lost. But DDR Zelda is basically Cadence of Hyrule. Yep. I don't think I have it. I wanted to get a physical copy. I don't really like downloads, and if you wonder why, well, Steam is, for example, Steam is canceling all support for Windows 7 soon. So they already did this for Windows 32, which I used. So I know a friend of mine who doesn't want to upgrade past Windows 7 and is basically going to lose their whole library unless they can figure out a workaround. So physical copies for the win.
Just a real fast about the game here. We got traiLZ going to be checking that upstab, downstab block he saw earlier, not going back to Thunderbird after the previous death. He's going to see the loop unless he knows something that none of us know at this point.
Well, we have to talk about the game? Oh, no. I'm sorry.
Okay, Koper with the game over as well. Back to Thunderbird. I will be interested to see if no one can seal the deal. And I mean, it's entirely possible. It's not like Thunderbird's not beatable at this level. It's just a long fight, a lot of stamina required here, thumb-wise, just a lot of mental power as well to ensure that you can continue to dodge and play well here. But it's going to be interesting to see how long each of our runners do keep attempting this, and if we will be stepping out to go find another magic container and get a shield cast.
If any of them is willing to step out, I think it would be jkoper.
I would assume so as well. I'm waiting to see what traiLZ is going to do though after he sees this loop.
Right. Yeah, you know what? I mean, if there's any time that traiLZ will step out, it's after realizing that there's no other way. After double checking his other suspicion and having that fall flat. That would be the most opportune time for, I think, someone like traiLZ to get out of here.
Okay, so this is either the fairy room loop that we saw earlier, or this is a completely different fairy room on traiLZ's side.
Yeah, so for anyone who hasn't seen as much of the match so far, this was a 0 gem seed. So they didn't have to kill any of the bosses, but on the other hand, that means that they don't get any gems, so they can't. So they came in here at low levels. They started with a glove, so they didn't need to find the glove. They started with
The
thunder.
boots.
Yeah,
The boots as well, sorry.
Yeah, they started with the boots, so they had easy time navigating the canyon and island biomes, which were our primary biomes here, as well as Maze Island. So they were able to skip a lot of stuff, which means that their combat capacities is basically do it perfect or don't do it at all. So,
Yeah, that is essentially it. It seems like I'm going to assume that we don't have high attack effectiveness for this attack 3, and it's probably either vanilla or lower, because this is taking a lot of hits. Like, again, it's really impossible to count. You can see Thunderbird flash, but sometimes, especially when traiLZ is doing like double hits and whatnot in the air, it's hard to see exactly which ones land and which ones don't unless you're listening closely. But as the player, you'll know what hits and what doesn't.
right. Yeah, sometimes the flashing, especially in early games like NES games, Zelda 2, other earlier games where they weren't so concerned about epilepsy, that doesn't really translate super well to streaming. But on their part, they should be able to see the flashing just fine.
Yeah. We also have to consider that we're watching 30 frame per second restream, whereas the game, its native frame rate is 60 point some change. And so anytime you see any kind of weird flashing, it could be simply that we're missing those frames in the restream itself.
Absolutely.
That happens a lot in Z1R, where the blue bubbles look like they might be red bubbles, and vice versa. You see weird colored bubbles in the dungeons in Z1R, and people are like, "I thought it might be this or that." And it's usually because the restreams are at half the frame rate that the game is running at.
So that's what it is. Okay, I'd wondered that. I'd watch Z1R, which, in my opinion, is one of the top randomizers. Z2R top, Z1R is up there, and. We'll see. Let's see what's in third. Maybe Chrysalis Randomizer will be up there.
This is correct answer, Nightcrawler. These are all correct answers.
Dragon Warrior Randomizer is also very good.
This is true. I also watch DWR and DWR, Z1R. Those are, and of course Crystallis whenever I can. But Z2R is my main jam.
Oh wait, what's up with traiLZ? It looks like he has shield cast. Is that his shield color? Did he have shield?
Yeah, I think it is, but he's obviously just trying to get through that room and survive.
I thought it was just bugged. Oh, okay, so he does have shield. Okay, cool. I like that shield color. That's nice. That's cool. I like it. I think this is going to be jkoper's last attempt. If I'm reading his brainwaves, the way I think I'm reading his brainwaves, I think this is going to be his last continuous worth of lives that he's going to throw at Thunderbird.
With the high resolution 540p face analysis I have in front of me, I think that this is going to be jkoper's last attempt before he goes out to find another magic container.
All right, did you get the same exact read as I did?
It's possible.
Wow. And I was streaming at 541p, so I thought that there'd be some difference in the resolution there.
Well, traiLZ looks like he went ahead and I don't think he game over to that room. I think he's just up and 8 because he's not going to have enough attempts on Thunderbird. Oh my God, jkoper getting caught in the corner there. Again, those corners are very tricky because a lot of people just want to slide into the corner, but Thunderbird is coming in as he's rising up in the pendulum and tossing fire into that corner as well. So you have to kind of be nimble enough. I said limber, but let's go back to nimble enough to. I guess I did mean nimble from the very beginning. You need to make sure that Link's momentum is constantly, you're ready to switch it in one direction or the other. And I will point out that jkoper is on hardware on a CRT, whereas traiLZ is on an emulator on an LCD screen on his laptop. So Koper will have an advantage here, but it really, like, this is really, really reflex heavy here. And again, their thumbs are probably feeling this fight, this back and forth, back and forth.
Yeah, CRTs are, I mean, even the best, quote unquote gamer monitors, CRTs are still better for these old school games, if only by fractionally.
Yeah, I agree, because there's no pixels, so to speak. There's nothing to change. It's just the screen is just being scanned onto the glass.
And there's the lower. I mean, it still has a better refresh rate and lower persistence and stuff like that as well, which is generally considered to be a good thing, especially for reflex heavy games.
Yeah, I'm always jealous of. You can usually always tell when someone is like the high end vanilla runners in Z2. They play in such a way to where it really looks like they're cheating, and sometimes it feels that way. But it really is just their reflexes just available through hardware and CRT.
I saw those fireballs chasing Koper.
Mm-hmm.
He dodged like 4 of them that were right on his arm, as Trogdor over here. But eventually another fireball got him, and I think he's got 2 more tries on this continue.
I was just about to ask.
I think it's 2. After which point, we both made the prediction that he's going to go dig something. Someone in chat asked attack level or magic container. I think with the kinds of P-bags we've seen, with the kinds of experience we've seen, we're not looking at attack 4 in this seed.
Yeah, something I wanted to mention early on is it's like when you have these low resources seed, as we've been talking about numerous times now, is that we just don't have really, like, when it comes to this flag set, we could have P-bags as high as 1,000 experience, but in this one we've seen 300s, but I'm not sure they're coming from drop groups. I think those are just stationary in some of the item caves, so it doesn't still look like they're plentiful. It doesn't look like something we can farm necessarily. We haven't farmed palace enemies yet, but I don't think we're going to do that necessarily. So I agree with you that we're probably looking for just another magic container and go. Unless we do a palace dig, find a dripper, and maybe it's like a 500-point Mago or something like that,
Yeah, a 500-point Mago would be heaven. So if they come across P1, they might dig that. I don't think... I mean, jkoper's going to feel really behind if he starts digging into P6 or P5 or even P4 to find an item. Even P2 really, like P1 and P3 are pretty comfortable to dig items out of, but at least for me, from my vague memories of my days before I retired after taking a fireball to the knee. But I wouldn't feel good knowing that traiLZ is hacking away at Thunderbird.
Yeah, at some point you're just like, okay, I am willing to accept the L if, I hope traiLZ has not gone out and gotten an extra magic container and now can cast shield, because that's what I want to do. And let's pretend he's not. And I'm just going to leave and go get this container and say, forget it. If I lose, I lose. No big deal. This is not an elimination match. We are still in the upper bracket here. So both of these runners could absorb a loss and just move on from there. But yeah, I don't know. At some point, you're just like, I don't want to do this anymore. Let me just go get a shield cast ready, and I need a magic container. That's
a great point. And that is also another part of the meta-analysis of the game, your position in the bracket. Yeah, sorry, I was wrong about the number of lives that they had. jkoper has 2 left now.
Yeah, the one he's on and then one in reserve there. And I just missed how many trails had. He just took another death. Oof. He also 2, or... I guess it doesn't really matter. It all kind of blurs together at this point.
I expect traiLZ is probably going to give it at least one more try after this.
I mean, what have we seen? We've seen at least 20 to 30 tries here.
Yeah,
5 lives, each game over.
Yeah, this is probably their sixth or so time trying. So yeah, probably like 30 attempts.
Yeah, at some point you just kind of just throw in a towel on this fight and you say, I'm going to go find another container. Forget this. There's 3 more out there. I've seen probably a third of the checks in the game or close to, let me just go find something. And I wish we had gotten a cave check on Maze Island. That could have been to Death Mountain, and then you get a quick spec rock check as well there. I don't know where that cave goes, though. It could be raft to Death Mountain, but we do have the raft, so.
Yeah, especially if it's like a canyon Death Mountain, in which case, like, they've got the boots, and that's super easy.
Yeah, exactly.
Or if they enter on the coast of a vanilla like Death Mountain.
Yeah, true. This is just such a hard thing to do. Like I could find myself exactly in this position, and I'm not entirely sure what I would do either. I don't know. You know, you're in a race. It's a totally different mindset. We're sitting here comfortable in the giant comfy couch watching this on an 82-inch OLED here in the ZSR Arena Skybox. And, you know, what we're thinking isn't necessarily what the runners are thinking. We're just trying to predict what they're doing. Other than going numb from all these Thunderbird fights.
Excuse me. Can I get some more nuts on my ice cream sundae? Thank you. Oh, yeah. Sorry. You were saying Skybox. Right. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, cool. And you know, good benefits, by the way. This whole skybox.
Absolutely.
It's a very weird skybox since we're watching a two-dimensional plane from above, so it's actually very difficult to see what's going on. Everything's very thin.
All right, well, we're about to hit 50% on traiLZ's side on his last life, I believe. There it is. We've got aggressive Thunderbird engaged.
Right.
I think jkoper's another bar and a half away.
I think like
2
hits.
Yeah, a few hits. Yeah. He's got 3 down.
Oh, wow. Okay, gosh, it's like 6 hits per bar.
Wow, yeah.
6 or 7. God.
And of course, 8 bars. And Thunderbird's life, Thunderbird's one of the bosses that never has its life randomized. We do randomize the health of every other enemy in the game other than Thunderbird and Darklink. And Thunderbird's health is not randomized. Ooh. And so it's always going to be the same health every time. It's difficult to gauge exactly how many hits. Again, we talked about this earlier when it comes down to attack effectiveness.
Right. Oh God, traiLZ is so close again, and he took a death. That was his last life on that. That might be the shove that he needs to go do something else. Since he was so close, and he's on this long pause here.
Are you seeing this?
Did he reset his timer?
He has currently forfeited the race. Of course, the race is not over. He can unforfeit at any time. He has cut stream, though, and he says, in the race room, he says he can have it, not really feeling it tonight.
Oh, God. Sorry,
now, that's not an automatic win for Koper. Koper sees that in the race room. Absolutely, he's going to back out of there. This is essentially a free win at this point, you know, barring any crashes or some catastrophic failure on jkoper's side. You know, he just needs to find some stuff, and then he's going to be able to take this home.
That's unfortunate because, he could just. He can't see where Koper is at. He can't come in. If he comes into the chat and starts talking in the chat, then he can't go back into the race.
Exactly.
Well, that's unfortunate. Because he could have just noped out and gotten some extra resources.
Yeah, that was absolutely a play to do, but it was. I guess we just didn't predict the. I guess I would say stubbornness of just not wanting to leave the palace and instead saying, I'm out. jkoper can have it. So,
yeah, I guess in a way, traiLZ did win, huh?
Yeah, this doesn't seem like it's that tough of a. You just need another. Like again, we've talked about this. It's like I think if Koper just found one other magic container, he might just go back in there and finish this. But it looks like he's actually grinding the Daira on the grass tile.
Okay, that works. How much is it per 100? That's not too bad.
Yeah, we know Magic 3 doesn't bring down Thunder or Shield enough combined to make it castable, both of them castable on 5 containers. So I don't know. Maybe we are going for Attack 4. Koper is someone who does like the level, who does like the power level, attack level. So maybe that's his jam here. Maybe he feels that Attack 3 is just so terrible that Attack 4 has to be better.
Yeah, it's going to be probably another 3 or 4 Dairas after this.
Yeah, I think it's 1140 for Attack 4, so another 6.
Come to think of it, he found a pretty good grind spot here. If this really isn't going to take him that long to Attack 4, but that doesn't guarantee a victory either. A lot of the attempts that these guys were making, they were dying, well before Thunderbird was at 3/4 health or so. So, I was just sort of saying that because it's like, this isn't really that long of a grind. So it could have happened during the actual race.
Yeah, it's the race mindset when you just like not. I mean, you have no idea where your opponent is, and so you're like, do I like? If you watch it back as the runner, if you watch your race back, you're like, oh, I had 20 minutes, 25 minutes to do anything I wanted because traiLZ wasn't able to seal the deal. And then unfortunately with the forfeit, it doesn't really matter what happens at this point though. But yeah, you watch that back, you're like, oh, I had plenty of time, but you never know that as the runner, and you're just trying to speed run through this game as fast as you can. And unfortunately, we got a hell of a Thunderbird block tonight.
I kind of feel bad for Cooper a little bit because, he's going to move on in the rocket probably, unless something weird happens, and he's going to be like, oh, did I really beat traiLZ or blah blah blah. That's not a good spot to be in.
No, yeah, I mean, I agree, but I mean, let's be honest here. These are both opponents. These are both runners who are veterans. They're very experienced, and so you see a forfeit from either one of them. We say it's unfortunate, but I don't know. You would think that you would want more out of the race and the tournament and your place here. I understand it's a 35-year-old video game. How much prestige is there really at the end of the day? But I don't know. As much as traiLZ plays the game, and I fit into this same boat as well. I've played a bajillion seeds myself. I play the game pretty much every single day, multiple times, and so I take some of these races kind of seriously. And to forfeit, it's just you just kind of give up. But if you've got other life obligations, then I guess you have to go. But
yeah. I mean, they're still at only about an hour. Oh, okay, we're going in for a life level? I don't think that's going to matter.
Yeah, I mean, if Life 5 is really high effectiveness, it could be that one hit takes us down to like a sliver of health.
Yeah, it could be.
Either that, or we're just going to see a 90-minute grind session at 100 points a pop on jkoper's side.
Could be. And CS Tutor did bring up a very interesting point, which is that on traiLZ's first attempt, he was only like 1 or 2 stabs away from beating Thunderbird. That hurts, and that might have been the mental factor that pushed traiLZ to forfeit, because he just saw himself, all of his successive attempts were at best almost as good as his first attempt. Yeah, attack 9 would be a good call. Karate stick.
To address something in chat about how it'd be surprised if traiLZ just doesn't give the race to jkoper if it's a. Maybe I'm misreading that. To clarify, Koper does need to actually finish the game, even though traiLZ has already forfeited and left the building at this point. Koper has to finish the game, otherwise it does end up a double forfeit.
See, I don't think he's going to go for attack 5 right now. Sorry.
Yeah, that's kind of high. I would think that if you're like really another magic container is going to be if you're going to go for attack 5, go look for another magic container at the same time. You know what I mean? Just kill things along the way and do both of those and just make progression at the same time between both of those categories.
Right. That would be the quicker call.
And it's funny because we haven't seen any P bags of any real denomination drop from this large enemy. So it's just been red jars and something else. Maybe there's 50. Been a small P bag in there. 50? Okay.
There's a 50.
Yeah, thanks.
And there was another enemy that dropped a 20 earlier. I think that was a small though. So not super generous.
Looks like 2 more kills here. We'll see. Oh, we're not going for life then, no? Or because 770? Oh, maybe I'm wrong. I guess
I think 770 is life.
Okay.
I
guess we're about to find out. No, just enough.
50? Yeah, it's just enough. Yeah, that's funny. All right. No, he's not going for attack 5. That would take a long time. I mean, he doesn't want to waste your time. He's going to give it another shot now. I don't know if attack 5's life 5 is going to be enough to take a shrimp, but it could be like we were talking about a second ago.
Yeah, it's possible we had a string of just low effectiveness for attack and life across the board in those early levels, and then on 4 attack and life 5, it could have just boosted up at that point. When it comes to the randomizer choosing the effectiveness for a particular level, it's going to be based off of the vanilla value for that particular level. It's going to roll high or low off of that. So it's always going to be, well, it'll always be the same or higher. It's never going to roll worse on the next level.
So I just saw jkoper get body checked by a red bird knight, and it took 3 out of his 4 health bars. I think that's not a big improvement, but attack 4 seemed to kill the Dyra way faster than attack 3. So I think attack went up significantly, but life not so much.
Yeah, now that we just watch one runner, we can kind of count this 3 attacks to take off a bar there, or 3 swings, I should say. So it looks like it's going to be about 24 hits here.
Which is a big improvement.
Oh, yeah.
I think last time it was about 6 hits.
Yeah, it was 6 or 7, which is quite a bit.
Yeah, literally it was twice as hard before, or half as hard now.
Yeah, he just has to continue. The fire still hits pretty hard. He is injured. So as he gets hit there.
Well, we might find out how good life 5 is.
Yeah, that's true.
PFF? DFF? Am I missing something?
I'm assuming DFF is double forfeit, but I don't know what a PFF is, and at this point I'm too afraid to ask.
Don't look it up on Google.
Yeah, steer clear of urbandictionary.com.
Preemptive. Okay, cool. Partial. You could partially forfeit.
Yeah, like we were saying, I mean, you can hit the forfeit button and come back. You're allowed to unforfeit in a race, but at this point, I mean, traiLZ has already cut stream, and I don't know. You never really know who could watch the race, but at this point, there's no real secret as to what the progression is. It's obviously through Thunderbird.
Yeah, if he wanted to come back now, I wouldn't object to it personally. But if the race were more complicated and like he came back in after a key item was found or something, that might be a different story.
71 minutes into the race, we have Thunderbird down.
Yeah, but I think we still have a little bit of palace left. I think we still got at least 5 rooms.
We will be over here shortly, even if it's a little difficult to get through. jkoper's got obviously Thunderbird down, plenty of resources, a castable Thunder for any nonsense. Oh, there we go.
How wrong am I? Good thing I didn't bet on that one. All right, well, I can't be right all the time, I think.
And interesting enough, it was just 12 minutes ago that traiLZ did forfeit, so...
I mean, it's interesting. It's bittersweet. Like how much easier that fight was after a little bit of grinding, and the life level wasn't even necessary, really. All right, well, everybody, get your GGs in chat. 2 Titans fought it out today. 1 finished the race, so it was a very tough seed in several ways. So give them your all, and we're going to see jkoper advancing in the winners bracket.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Did you just say the official race time or no?
I didn't.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, 1 hour, 12 minutes and 1 second. I think it's in the chat there anyway. Yeah, 72 minutes and 1 second. Sorry, I was reading something else here.
Oh, yeah. I know what you're reading. You're reading that How to Get Good at Zelda 2 blog. I know.
Yes.
Written by Rose City Saint.
Yeah, we're going to see if we're going to get jkoper in for an interview, asking him in the race room now. We'll see what he has to say. He probably has something to say. He doesn't look like he's angry or anything, probably a little exhausted.
Yeah.
But nerves, I'm sure, completely, leveled out at this point simply because of his opponent just forfeiting and leaving.
Hello, Mr. jkoper. Congratulations, GG.
Thanks. I totally won that race because I earned it, and not because traiLZ gave up or anything like that.
We were kind of talking about this, sort of the situation that you get put into, when your opponent forfeits. It's kind of a bittersweet feeling you get. But you are going to get probably you could end up with another chance to face traiLZ. At the end of the tournament. And it's not like he's out of the race. It's not like he's out of the tournament or anything. So you guys could have a rematch. We were kind of talking.
Yeah, that could certainly happen. And what I really feel bad about is just because I can beat Thunderbird at the level I was at, doesn't mean that that's the best strategy. And it's clearly quite evident by that last attempt that what I should have done from the beginning was just that a couple more levels certainly happened, because WoW's attack force so much better from 8 hits per segment to 3. Are you kidding me?
Oh, it was 8. Okay, so 64 total hits there.
Yeah, we were thinking like 6 or 7, but 8.
Yeah, it was 8. It was 8.
That's the best
strategy. And I didn't really get close. I think I got 5 or maybe 6 off at the most.
And you didn't get a chance to test the efficacy of Life 5, did you?
No, I didn't.
It didn't look like it was that much better from the bop you took from the Red Bird Knight, but I guess you didn't really need it.
Are you kidding me? Yeah, I mean, just being able to only hit Thunderbird 24 times instead of 2.5 times that much is a pretty big difference. So.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
Yeah. Anyway, Zarnax would have had fun with this seed. Yeah.
So true.
What about his playstyle would have? What makes you say that?
Oh, he likes fighting the bosses low level. He has like saves at all the bosses, and he'll fight them at times. So, yeah. He's also done like low level. So extremely challenging and absurdly difficult to play through. But yeah, I don't know. I feel silly. This whole seed was just go down to Thunderbird and then beat him. And I guess you needed to find a magic container somewhere. Mm-hmm. So like, who started fighting Thunderbird first? Maybe.
traiLZ did, because you kind of got turned around a little bit in GP.
Oh yeah, I mean I was exploring. Okay. I don't know if I got turned around so much as just trying every direction.
Well, I guess that means Mariah was right, because he was like, Mariah was like, oh, he's checking out this area. I was like, oh, but Thunderbird's over there. And
yeah. After you had a magic container,
right. After I came back in there, then I didn't know where Thunderbird was. That's true. I forgot, but that was just like a minute or two of.
Yeah, it wasn't. But that's how close you guys were. That's.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, it was very close. You guys both were fighting Thunderbird within about 30 seconds of each other, I think.
Okay.
So yeah, something like that. Early on, you saw the East Connector. You went east, did all that stuff. traiLZ went into GP, explored it without downstab, without anything. Took him a little bit longer because of the lack of a few resources and downstab. But then, as you walked in without enough to cast Thunder, he walked out to go do some stuff as well. Then you did the exploring. Kind of at the same time, you crisscrossed paths there, but you did the exploring. Then he stepped out a little bit after that, and you did converge on Maze Island. You both found the same magic container, and then you were back in the GP just before he was. But as Nightcrawler just talked about how you did go not towards Thunderbird right away, whereas traiLZ did, and then that's what started the rest of the seed.
Yeah, that's interesting. So what were his levels at?
3, 3, 4.
Mm-hmm. So he had an extra magic level compared to you, but it didn't really matter.
Yeah, the only way the magic levels probably would have mattered is if we could have cast Shield, and that probably would have taken like at least Magic 5, I'm guessing. But
I mean, Thunder would have to go down in price.
What's that? Sorry?
Thunder would have had to go down in price, so you would.
Well, not necessarily. It was 72, and Shield could have gone down to 8.
Yeah. Yeah, true.
So Thunder could have gone down in price too as well. That would have made a difference, but that's less likely. And Shield's always going to go down at some point, of course. So Thunder could have been 72 at level 7 or something. So I don't know. Yeah.
So what do you think about the placement of that item in P6? Or how about Goomba in P5? I was like, what can we talk about with this scene? You guys didn't see all that much of the palaces after all.
Yeah. And I went into Medicine Cave and didn't go through that, but a heart or a magic jar at the end of that might have made a difference.
Yeah.
I don't know if Trails went in there.
No.
Okay.
It was still a mystery at the end.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah. I'm curious about the other items in this seed, but really the story was just there. And then even if I were to speedrun this seed now, I would think just go get that magic container, get attack 4, and go beat the game, and that's really it. So yeah. I don't think downstab was really important for anything in the end, because you just had to go fight Thunderbird and not really.
Yeah. It did help you guys explore and narrow down the fact that Thunderbird was the way to go, though.
Yeah, that's true. There definitely could have been another direction, and I wasn't entirely convinced that I had explored all of GP in the other directions, but I had done enough where going through Thunderbird seemed like the best choice, especially, given that, with the bit of metagaming I could do, saying that my opponent wasn't done yet. But I was really surprised that it was just 2 rooms after Thunderbird. I didn't feel I had been through that many rooms. It must have been a fairly small GP, I think.
It's funny you're saying kind of the exact same stuff that we were talking about. We were talking about how metagaming in a game like this is sort of more prominent than in a lot of other kinds of races, because in a game like this, you know that Trails is going to go straight, to Thunderbird if he can, and he's going to do the minimum, and you guys both figured out that Thunderbird's required, so this is one of the easier races to metagame, and also, gosh, I also suspected there was going to be at least 5 rooms after Thunderbird, because it seemed like with all the looping and stuff, you guys maybe explored 20 rooms on the other side. But I guess I was, I wasn't actively counting. It must have been more than that, because Darklink was pretty soon afterward.
Yeah, in the end, it was not a terribly difficult GP. Jump was really a sufficient safety on its own, I think, to get through any rooms of difficulty. But there weren't any really tough waffles or emoji rooms or anything like that, and no really crazy enemy placements that were too bad. There were some tough ones, but it was enough that it was manageable,
Yeah, there was a fun room with 2 blue bird knights and an orange bird knight.
Yeah,
on a crumble bridge. So there was
which was completely optional. I saw that room from both directions, and then I was like, this feels awfully familiar. And then I made it through, and I was like, yeah, I'm pretty sure I've been over here. So
you guys, you say it wasn't that tough, but honestly, I would have had a difficult time with this GP. So the fact that you guys navigated it quickly and efficiently really goes to show that you both really, have the chops, and it was just doing Thunderbird at this low level that was kind of the barrier. But you guys both, I think, did a very good job.
Yeah, I echo that. You both did. I do think you did leave potentially a room or 2 or maybe a little wing unexplored, but as Trails had shown us, it was like 2 dead ends, maybe, and a bunch of loops otherwise, because I'm pretty sure he did it all. I think you were the first one, because he didn't have downstab, so you were the first one to show us the loop for the actual downstab block, that the kind of like the two-shaped, the blocks in the shape of a 2. The hard upstab block is what we call it. And he was unable to go through there, but you were the first to show us through there. And of course, then we saw it was a loop, and we're like, oh, well, okay, we have seen a lot of this stuff, and it's looking like it might be more and more like Thunderbird at this point. Sure enough.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I guess you and I are going to be racing again soon, Mirai.
Yeah.
We've got the whole rest of the month to do this, I guess.
So tomorrow night, all 3 races.
No, tomorrow night I'm gonna go out driving. Maybe next week we can start. But I mean, honestly, the biggest thing for me, I'm gonna be available like Monday through Wednesday for the rest of the month, and like kind of scheduled around the losers bracket is what I'm thinking.
Okay.
You know, just don't try to cause any slight scheduling conflicts like we had tonight.
Yeah.
And jkoper, you don't need to go easy on Mirai. He's got plenty of utility in the in this side of things. He can calm. He could track if people get sick of him. So so you can knock him out tomorrow, or next week, or whenever you want. Really, it's up to you when you knock him out.
Yeah. This is jkoper's plan. He's like, we'll race sometime soon. You just cool off and do other things and forget about the Z2R thing. I'll be practicing, and then we'll show up and just ice the kicker.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but I did. So something important I did today was cut my hair to make myself more aerodynamic, increase the speed. That's why traiLZ and Mirai are so fast at this game, the aerodynamicism. So
you're gonna have to wax it if you want to beat Mirai.
I mean, I still have hair. So I don't know how that's gonna turn out.
You know what?
Okay.
There is a potential way, Mirai. If jkoper is too fast for you, have you seen a golf ball? Right, they put little dimples in the golf ball to make it go faster. I think the aerodynamics on exactly why or how that works is still kind of being discovered. It's mathematically complex, but we could try putting a bunch of small depressions in your bald cap if you want to make you go faster.
We'll see. I maybe some special behind the scenes. I don't want to show my whole hand right now or my whole head right now. So. We'll see. jkoper and I will race, and hopefully be good races, aerodynamic or not.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thanks so much for putting this together, and thanks to the whole Z2R community, the ZSR community, for stepping up and doing the restreams, the comms, and tracking. It was a busy night tonight. I mean, at least this small window was. I got to move on to my next race, but. Thanks again so much, guys, and we'll be seeing you again soon.
Thank you very much. Yeah, and you bring up a good point. I don't thank the viewers as much as I usually do. I often thank the restreamer. I think the tracker. I sometimes thank Mirai if I'm feeling generous. But the viewers, we do it for you guys and because of you guys. So thank you very much for watching and supporting the tournament, supporting ZSR. And Gundam Girl, thank you for resubscribing earlier on before the stream. You want to go, Mirai? Or am I...
No, I'm looking for a pen so I can make sure I write all of this down so that I don't forget anything that's been said tonight. Thank you.
Oh, man.
I know, I'm just sniggering at all of you here. But GG's once again to our riders, Trails and jkoper. What a race. What a T-bird. Oof. Thanks once again to Mirai and Nightcrawler for doing the commentary, and Lost for doing our tracking, as well as to Running Champ for watching. This shall be it here for us tonight on ZSR2. We do have one last race on the ZSR channels later tonight. In about Had to double check the time difference. 3.5 hours at 1:30 a.m. Thursday night / Wednesday evening, depending on your time zone. We've got semifinals Game 5 with Link to the Past Randomizer Survivors of Hyrule Tournament. We've got Structural Mike versus Gamachu in an Randomizer race. So if anyone's still like an interest in Zelda at that time, we'll have that. Tomorrow at 4 less ridiculous times, we'll have at 4 p.m. Eastern, we'll have the Breath of All Dungeons Tournament. Semifinals between Smitch versus Roms. We'll also have a Zelda 2 multi-category tournament match tomorrow. So that's round 2 between Candlelit, me, and Light. Got a couple Zelda 1, the Zelda 1 NU% no up in a tournament. 2023 has started up as well. We'll have some of the resumes of that tournament over here. And assorted other matches besides. Doesn't currently look like we have any Z2R matches on the schedule, but they will be added as they come up, so keep an eye out for that. In the meantime, thank you for watching all. We're going to head over to and raid Ice Blue, who is currently doing some. Speaking of Zelda 1 Randomizer Random Percent Tournament practice. So it goes, yeah, that's going for him. Thanks for watching all, and we'll have a good night.